I don't know if it's funny or sad that a plate of nachos on the ice had more of an effect on the Oilers' ability to generate offense than most of the forwards that played tonight. Hello, everyone. My name is Austin. Welcome to the postgame fan reaction of the Edmonton Oilers' 3-2 loss to the Washington Capitals. Yes, the President's Trophy leading Capitals, or league leading Washington Capitals. They haven't won the President's Trophy yet. Edmonton lost 3-2. Washington, story of the game, was opportunistic with their chances, and the Edmonton Oilers, despite generating a ton of chances, unable to finish when it mattered most and unable to tie the game and at least get a point in overtime. Very unfortunate considering I think the team overall played well, but once again, it's the story of Stan Bowman's Edmonton Oilers, Ken Holland's Edmonton Oilers, Peter Chiarelli's Edmonton Oilers. This team just doesn't have enough other than McDavid and Draisaitl, and the depth does show up in spurts. We've seen it earlier this year. Yeah, I know Corey Perry has 8 goals. I know Connor Brown has produced a little bit this season, a lot better than he did last year. Vasily Podkolzin had an assist tonight. I understand that, yes, their depth for the most part is a little bit better than it has been. But when Connor McDavid is out of the lineup, you're expecting some other guys to pull their weight. And the guys that I am most disappointed in are players like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who has been around the game for a long time. 3 years ago, he was a 100-point player. Like, what happened here? Obviously, every Oilers fan knew that was unsustainable and he would regress. But players like Nugent-Hopkins tonight, rough game. Evan Bouchard, really rough game. Stuart Skinner tonight. Ooh. Oof, Maron! Terrible game from Stuart Skinner. I don't blame him on the third goal for Washington because you had 2 Oilers do flybys of the puck that went off the post. But the first 2 goals, I have absolutely no idea why he can't just stop a puck. And the first one, it's a 2-on-1. It's a cross crease, Tom Wilson, blah, blah, blah. But during the broadcast on Sportsnet tonight, they were talking about Logan Thompson's lateral movement, his ability to quickly move from side to side in his crease. Stuart Skinner, that's something that he really struggles with, and teams, they hone in on that. Yes, Skinner has made big saves going crease to crease. Last year against the Washington Capitals, the same game that Connor Brown had his first goal of the season for Edmonton last season, if you go back and watch the highlights of that game, there was a save that Stuart Skinner made on Ovechkin in the first period of that game where he dove across his crease. Obviously, sometimes he makes those saves, but man, oh man, you knew the pass was going to Wilson the entire time on the 2-on-1, and he is still late reacting. If you look at how many goals get scored against Stuart Skinner when there's a 2-on-1 or some kind of puck that goes from one end of the ice to the other, Skinner is usually nowhere near in position to make the save. A lot of times it just hits him. And again, I'm a big Stuart Skinner defender. If you've been tuned into the channel as long as I know a lot of you have, if you're new to the channel, I am the biggest Stuart Skinner defender out there. I love Stu. I think he is the answer in goal for this team. But the more that he has games like this, the more fans will turn. They will question it, and even I will feel pressured to, maybe push the whole "we need a goalie" angle. I'm not going to push that yet. I don't think we push that narrative yet. In a vacuum, this is a game where 9 times out of 10, Edmonton comes out on top. But the Oilers lost to a President's Trophy contending team because they are a good hockey team. Do I think what Washington is doing this season is sustainable? Absolutely not. I really, truly don't. And this is no disrespect to the team. Obviously, what they're doing is remarkable for many reasons. But this is a team, and again, I'm going to maybe sound like a salty fan here. I'm going to sound like a salty, biased homer. I think Washington is not good as their record shows, and this has first-round exit all over them. As a team this season, Washington is shooting over 13% in all situations, which is outrageous. I actually don't know what the highest team shooting percentage is in a single season since the salary cap year has started. I guess I could go on Natural Stat Trick and find that out, but I do know that this is absolutely impossible to sustain. Tom Wilson shooting like 20% on his own. Good for him, 20 goals on the season. We love that for Tom Wilson. Congrats, bro. And there's going to be a lot of talk about the officiating in this one as well. I'm not concerned about the officiating in this game. I am concerned about the Oilers' inability to finish when it matters. We're going to take a look at the box score for the game, the goal scoring summary, and then, of course, I'm going to take a look at the money puck, and we're going to discuss a few other topics before we move on towards the preview, which is going to be Oilers and Vancouver on Thursday, which I know we're all very much looking forward to. So let's take a look here at the box score. The Oilers got off to a near perfect start. They had all the zone time. I'm pretty sure they had the first 5 or 6 shots on goal. Leon Draisaitl opened the scoring. Nice pass from Darnell Nurse to find him in the high slot. If we watch the NHL Edge visualizer, Draisaitl's going to win the faceoff. I don't know who's hovering at the bench here. Not sure what's going on with the visualizer. But Colson to Nurse, and then Draisaitl with just an unbelievable backhand. That backhand is harder. That was a harder backhand shot in terms of velocity than I'm able to do with a clapper. Like, just unbelievable shot from Leon Draisaitl. And then, of course, Tom Wilson, he did tie the game. It was a giveaway by Victor Arvidsson. Terrible giveaway. He tried to drop it back to Draisaitl. The Washington Capitals coming on a 2-on-1. What Brett Kulak should have done was try and take the pass option away on the 2-on-1. Always let your goalie face the shooter, at least in my opinion. Would Washington have maybe scored on the play anyways? It is a possibility. I'm not discounting that, but I just think as a defender, you always try and cut off the passing angle and just let your goalie come out, cut his angle, and take the shooter, because Skinner, he came way out and he was leaning over here. He really did not expect that puck for some reason to go to the back door where Tom Wilson was crashing. Good goal for Wilson. And then Matt Roy, he scored an absolute, I mean, this is just one of the worst goals I've ever seen. Washington was working along the cycle. Edmonton couldn't get possession. Puck came to the blue line, and a shot was ripped. Skinner, there was some traffic in front, but there was an angle. I really don't think he was screened. The confusing thing about Stuart Skinner on this goal for me as an Oilers fan watching is it almost looked like he did a upward movement before he went down into his butterfly, but it wasn't even a butterfly. It was like a broken butterfly. It looked like an old school, like goalies way back in the day, if they went on their knees. There was no proper butterfly position. It was just like you're straight down on your knees. That's what Skinner did. It was such a late reaction. It made absolutely no sense. The puck may have hit Podkolzin, but the way Skinner is sliding around here, he slides to his right when the puck goes to his left. I didn't like this goal at all. This is one of those goals where it's just a backbreaker. The team is playing well, and that type of shot that goes in is incredibly frustrating because of just how much the Oilers at that point were dominating the game. After 2 periods, the shots were 26-9 in favor of the Oilers, and to give the Washington Capitals credit, they only allowed Edmonton 6 shots in the third, just like Vancouver the other night in Vancouver on Saturday when the Oilers were pressing to tie it. Edmonton had 5 shots total in the third period, so teams are finding ways to lock this team down, the Oilers that is, when they're trying to press for an equalizer. This is the goal I didn't like from Edmonton's defenders, where it's after a penalty to Washington. The Oilers didn't score on the power play. Puck off the post, and then Pierre-Luc Dubois puts in his rebound in the crease. But if you look at what the Oilers defensemen do here, it's not nearly good enough. You have Stetcher and Kulak. They get by both, and then there's a rebound, and both Stetcher and Kulak don't even protect the front of the net. They just skate away. They just skated away, and I don't understand that. When I was growing up playing hockey, you're taught to protect that crease area, the slot area. If you see a loose puck, swing your stick at it, try and clear the zone. And both players, they mentioned on the broadcast, maybe they thought the puck had gone in. I don't really buy that. I think it was just a lazy play by Kulak and Stetcher when they needed a little bit more, a little bit more awareness of what's happening on the ice. And then Corey Perry, he did make a game of it. Draisaitl came into the zone. You don't see it on the visualizer, but there is some nachos sitting here, a plate of nachos. I'm not sure what that fan was thinking. I don't know why fans do that stuff. If you're a fan that throws stuff onto the ice, can you please just don't do that? Don't throw stuff onto the ice. I don't care how frustrated you are at the officiating at the Oilers as a team. I don't care what the situation is. Don't do that. Even though it was funny tonight, and I really wish the Oilers would have been able to come out with a win, because I was ready to have the hashtag NACHO-Gate title for the video. You see the plate of nachos I have behind me. I was going to use it as a funny prop, but instead it's just going to sit on the table. But that is pretty much my fan reaction here tonight. If you ended up enjoying, obviously make sure to smash that like button. And if you really liked it, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We are well on our way to 5,000 subscribers. We're actually climbing close to 4,500 subscribers, which is an incredible milestone. Your support's been incredible, especially over the last week and a half or so since I started using myself in the thumbnails. The engagement has been much higher. And of course, with everything going on with the Vancouver Canucks and Edmonton Oilers and the suspensions and the fan discourse around that, it's been a lot of fun. I love that this rivalry between Edmonton and Vancouver has been reignited, and I absolutely cannot wait for Thursday night. It's going to be an absolute incredible game at Rogers Place. And if you're going to the game, be super loud. Get your chants ready because I want this rivalry to continue. Just like the Battle of Alberta a couple years ago before the playoffs and during the playoffs, I love this. As a fan, I love it. Yes, I'm going to get heated and we're going to get into spats and we're going to be in the comment section going at each other, me and Canucks fans, and of course, Oilers and Canucks fans as well. But that's hockey. That's fun. We're having fun with this. Unfortunately, the loss tonight was not fun, but at least we got to have a laugh at some nachos on the ice, and hopefully the team can find a way to rally around McDavid's absence. Hopefully the team can find a way to score more than just 2 goals because they are struggling at putting the puck in the net right now, even though they are generating a lot of chances. We'll see how they respond on Thursday. So thank you all so much. We will see you Thursday morning for the pregame report, of course. Make sure you tell someone that you love them tonight. And as always, fight like a kid, fight like Ben. Let's go Oilers.